we've seen now, I mean, obviously you've followed what's happening in America closely. It's also probably not the country that you left. I would imagine you wouldn't be in a rush to go back there. Um, but you've also seen Portugal change. How, for good and for bad, have you seen Portugal change in all these years that you've been here?
Well, until very recently, I would say almost all the changes were good.
Yeah,
For instance, now women are 50% or more of the students in law and in medicine. Huge change. I mean, the revolution brought political change for the men. It brought political and social change for the women.
yeah,
They're empowered here,
yeah,
and that's fabulous. Gay people, LGBT, we earned the right to get married. It passed in the legislature in 2010. We were married immediately. We got coverage in all the newspapers, positive coverage, a two-page spread in one of the major newspapers because we're both well known here. And I don't say that because, we're so great. I say that because most people became positive about LGBT stuff. It's no big deal.
yeah,
In the cities. Now, in the countryside, in little villages, it can still be a problem, which
mm,
is why for me, it's a non-issue.
yeah,
I've been out of the closet since '78.
yeah,
I don't, it means, I'm glad to be gay, but heterosexuals are fine. Everybody's fine. I don't care anymore.
yeah,
But I still talk about it because I know there are kids in the little villages who are being teased,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
especially now with this anti-trans stuff. So I feel it's important to answer the questions if journalists talk to me. Once I was at a school and talking about my books, and the teacher came up to me afterwards, very apologetic. She said, "Well, you didn't talk about Alex or your relationship." And I went, "Well, no one asked me about it. I'm not going to introduce the topic."
yeah, yeah,
So LGBT, women, ecology, a real ecological mindset that we didn't have before. Personal hygiene. People obey the smoking rules. Nobody smokes in restaurants. Nobody smokes in hospitals. Impossible. We have a good medical system. It's being challenged at the moment because there's a lot of money going to the private hospitals. But I use the public hospitals.
yeah, yeah,
Alex had serious medical issues, had to be operated twice. He was in the hospital for 6 weeks, unfortunately, the worst 6 weeks of my life, probably, but he recovered really well. How much did his two operations in 6 weeks in the hospital cost us? Zero.
exactly. Yeah,
And he had a great care, great doctor, led his team. Again, I'm gay. I'm used to people treating me like a second class citizen because that's the America I grew up in. But this doctor and all the nurses, the first thing they would do when I would come in each day for a visit was say what was happening. Richard, here's what's going on today. Alex is going to get antibiotics because, they treated me like his husband, and that's who I am.
yeah,
But gay people still aren't used to that. So, sometimes I just burst into tears, seriously,
so,
because people were treating me like a human being,
yeah,
and Alex and I were treated with great care.
yeah.